Hi everyone, Ramesh here. In this video we will learn how to create Spring Boot Hello World example with JSP. Basically we create a Spring MUC web application with JSP and we use Spring Boot to quickly create and bootstrap our Spring MUC web application. Alright, let's have a look into the tools and technology that we will be using. So we are going to use Eclipse STS ID and we use Spring Boot 2 Plus and Spring Boot 2 internally uses Spring Framework 5 Plus, and we are going to use Maven as a project build and management tool, and we are going to use Java 8 and we use embedded Tomcat 8.5 Plus, and we are going to use JSP and JSTL to develop JSP pages. Alright, as usual we are going to develop this tutorial step by step, and here are the steps. So first we quickly create and bootstrap Spring Boot project using Eclipse STS ID, and then we add all the required dependencies, and then we create a simple Spring MUC controller which will handle HTTP request, and then we create JSP View result configuration in application.properties file, and then we create a simple JSP page, and finally we run our Spring Boot project, and finally we'll see the demo. Alright, without further ado, let's switch to the Eclipse STS ID and let's develop this tutorial from the scratch. Let's get started. The first step is we need to create a Spring Boot project, right? So for that, go to the file new and then choose Spring Starter project. So look at here, this is a Spring Initializer website URL. So Spring Initializer is integrated in Eclipse STS ID, and we are going to use Spring Initializer to quickly create and bootstrap our Spring Boot application. So let's give a name to our application as Spring Boot JSP Hello World example. Okay, and keep type Maven and packaging as a jar, Java version 8, language Java, and here let's give group ID as net.javaguides. So my website name is javaguides.net, so I prefer to give this name. So you can give any group ID that you want. Let's give artifact ID as Spring Boot JSP Hello World example. So this is going to be our application name, and description as demo project for Spring Boot and JSP, and then package. So let's go ahead and let's change the package name as net.javaguides.springboot. Alright, once you are happy with the details, then hit next, and here keep Spring Boot version as it is because this is the stable and latest release of Spring Boot, and we are going to develop Spring MUC web application. So for that, let's pick Spring Boot Web Starter dependency. So we use Spring Web Starter dependency to build web applications as well as RESTful web service applications, and this dependency provides Apache Tomcat as default embedded server. Okay, and we are going to use embedded Tomcat server to run our Spring MUC web application. Once you are happy with the details, hit finish. This will create a project in Eclipse STS ID. Alright, so this is our first step. Now let us see the next step. Next step is we need to add Maven dependencies. Alright, let's open pom.xml, and here we need to add a JSP dependencies. So we are going to use JSTL tags. So for that, look at here, these are the two dependencies are required. So in order to compile JSP pages, so Tomcat needs this dependency, and we are going to use JSTL tags and syntax. So we are going to add JSTL library. So these are the two libraries we need to add to the pom.xml. So I am going to give these two libraries in a video description so that you can just copy it. Okay, great. Now let us see the next step. Next step is we need to create a simple Spring MUC controller. Let's go ahead and let's create a simple package first. Right click new and package, and let's call package name as controller, and right click on controller, new, and then create a class. So this is our Spring MUC Hello World application. So let's give a name as Hello controller or something like this. And this is a Spring MVC controller, so let's annotate this class with @controller annotation. Alright, and here we create a method handler, public string, and then call a method as hello. Alright, and let's annotate this method with get mapping annotation, and let's configure URL. So we can configure array of URLs here. For example, so this is the home, this is the URL for home, and this is the URL for hello.jsp page. Okay, now we are going to pass a query parameters. For that we are going to use @request param annotation to bind query parameters. So here we are going to use a name or value. So value is going to be a name here, and then we need to use default value. So let's keep default value as word, and here this is the required field, so let's make it as a true, and then here we need to bind query parameter to the method argument like this. Okay, great. So one more parameter we need to pass here is model. So we are going to pass data to the JSP, so let's use a model here. Now let's use a model and add key value pair here. Key is name and value is name. Okay, and what we will do here is simply return a view name, that is hello. So this is our JSP name. That's it. It's pretty simple, right? So the next step is we need to create JSP View Resolver configuration in application.properties file. Let's open application.properties file under resource folder. Go to the application.properties file. So just here type spring.muc.view.prefix. So let's keep prefix as webinf/JSP/ and again create one more property, spring.muc.view and then suffix. So suffix is going to be our JSP extension. So this is how we configure internal resource view resolver for JSP page. So without Spring Boot, you need to write a code to explicitly configure internal resource view resolver for JSP page, but Spring Boot provides these two properties to configure view resolver for JSP. Alright, now let us see the next step. So next step is we create a JSP page. So look at here, basically web app folder is not created when you create a Spring Boot project using Spring Initializer. So what we need to do is we need to create a folder structure. For example, go to the main and here right click new and create a folder, and let's name it as web app. Okay, and under web app we need to again create a one more folder, that is webinf, and under webinf folder we need to create a one more folder, that is JSP. Okay, so look at here the prefix webinf JSP. So look at the folder structure webinf JSP. So this is the path we have given as a prefix here in application.properties file. Now let's go ahead and let's create a JSP page, and let's name it as hello.jsp. Okay, so inside this JSP page we simply print the message from the controller. So here what we'll do, hello, and then let's use JSTL syntax here, name. Okay, great. So very simple JSP page. Here we are just printing the name So the value of this name comes from the controller. So look at here, this name we have given here. Okay, great. So this is a very simple JSP page. Now let us see the next step is we run the application and we'll see the demo. All right, let's go ahead and let's run our Spring Boot project. So this is the main entry point of our Spring Boot project. Right click on it and run as Spring Boot app. So this will run a Spring Boot project on embedded Tomcat server port 8080. So look at here, application is deployed and started on port 8080. Okay, let's go ahead and let's open Chrome browser and let us test this application. In a Chrome browser, just type localhost 8080. So look at here, hello world. So by default value we have provided world here, that's why it says hello world. Now here we can also provide a hello here. So this will also print hello world because default we have given word. So I'm going to pass here a query parameter that is name equals Ramesh. So this will print hello Ramesh. Okay, so look at here in controller we have given a default value as world, and this is the query parameter. So whatever we give a name, that will be provided in a name, and that name value will be passed again to the JSP page, and that name again printed on a JSP here. Okay, great. So if I change name from Ramesh to admin, so this will print hello admin. Okay, so what I will do here is I will just align this text at a center. So if we change something in a JSP, we again need to run the Spring project. So let's quickly rerun the Spring project. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's again access from the browser. So look at here, the text is aligned in a center, hello admin. Alright, so this is how we create a simple Spring web application using Spring Boot with JSP. Alright, you can extend this project further, like you can create a CRUD operation on any entity, and you can use a same syntax to create a controller JSP. Alright, I hope you found this video tutorial useful. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.